In this video you will see how to make easy art journal backgrounds. Welcome to the Ayala Art I Love to Paint channel. This is your artsy friend Martha. If you are art inclined, love painting, drawing, art journaling, and mixed media, this is your channel. For the next texture page, I would like to talk about collaging. You don't have to use only the pretty paper, especially for collage. You can just get just a variety of leftover papers or little things around the house that you can put together in a page. And it doesn't even have to make sense. You can paint over it and just use it as a texture. Here I left some marks when I was cleaning my brayer. Same for some stamps that I was cleaning, and scratches of my brush, a piece of page, a piece of a tea bag, which is beautiful and it's almost not there, but it gives you a bit of wrinkles depending on how you glue it, and I love it. It's very nice. Other examples could be here, where I have a strip of jelly paper that I printed. Monoprint paper is just a jumble of colors, and some texture paper, an old book paper, another tea bag open, which also provides a little bit of texture that is really nice. Here I included a piece of the watercolor paper edge, so it's really bumpy when you touch it. For this kind of more thicker, more texture and thicker paper, I recommend a stronger glue. This one seems pretty good, Glue and Seal. But for everything else, either if you like the gel medium or matte medium, which is a fluid medium that you can glue things with. This is another piece of leftover paper, just a little corner. It's not even anything that will be in an organized manner. Here's another corner of a tea paper from a tea bag, another piece of monoprinted paper. This is a grocery bag, a paper bag, wrinkled up and glued. After I glued it, the wrinkles are still there, and I passed on it a dry brush with yellow and I believe with white. Just cleaning my brushes, nothing really set in mind. This I was cleaning another of the templates I made of a goddess. If you can see the shape, it's going to be lost at the end when I finally find some inspiration to come and paint a face on it, because what I like to do is faces. This was a practice drawing I was making for a painting on a traveling painting project. And as I was practicing what size to use, I ended up with this tissue paper that I kept. I'm not sure if you can see the shape of it. Probably you can. It's about 1/4 of an inch longer, I mean bigger than the pencil line. But it basically completely dissolves in your paper, at least visually. It turns invisible unless that you really look for it, like this little line. And after I collaged it into my page, I came back and painted some skin color just for fun. These are the pages that I made. This is the project that we just finished. Here is more of the tea bags paper, which I totally love how it is stained in different ways, and depending on the tea, it is reddish or brown or just barely beige. If you leave it in the bag for a long time, kind of in a squeeze manner but still wet, it will leave damp stains, and it's very pretty. Here's another watercolor edge that I trimmed. And I have here more of the tea paper. You just have to open them gently, and even if they have holes like this one, it still will bring beautiful texture to your page. And I did not get rid of the little holders for the bag because well, number one, I love them, they are so cute, and number two, I can always paint on them and print something and have them being part of a page, one here, one there, or all of them together, depends on whatever you want to do. I think I'm going to leave this one, since it didn't come off from the paper. I'm going to leave it in there, maybe this way, so it's not falling from the page. This is just a little hint of pink from the brayer and some what looks like green or turquoise. I'm not really sure. I just go open a page and clean whatever I'm using. In this case, this was one of the faces for my 29 faces challenge. I had just gone around cleaning the very watery paint from my brush, left it for later, came back with a bit of another paint and just traced the, I drew the outline of a face, and later on I came back and finished making a face. You can have color under for the collage paper for texture, or just leave it like that, visual texture but flat to the touch. And let me see if I have something else in here. This was not a book for mixed media, so it can be perfect for collaging, since you're going to have to put something in the paper. If you're not going to just be sketching or writing, you have to protect the paper because it can get really thin and wobbly after you put some water in it. So I recommend to go first with the matte medium or gesso and let it dry, or add your texture as you're selecting, like in this case, this tea paper, tea bags paper. Just glue them. Later on you can come back and have the rest of your painting actually done, or leave it ready for some other time whenever you want to come. The page is going to be ready, the spread in this case that we're going to be working on is going to be ready for you to paint. But let's start our texture. I can see some little granules of tea in here, which is perfectly fine for me. I'm going to be using matte medium because the paper is so thin, you don't need something stronger than that. Okay? I'm going to be cleaning my brush barely. It still has some red in it, and I don't care. It's going to be okay to leave some stains of some other color. If you like this video, share it with all your artsy friends. Don't be afraid of leaving openings in the paper, because part of the beauty is the little wrinkles that you can make. And although this paper is kind of delicate, it can still withhold your brushings even if you're not too delicate. And sometimes a little rough brushwork will bring very nice wrinkles. I don't recommend using your plastic card, like a credit card or something, to flatten out the bubble side of this, because you can just tear it, and you don't want it completely torn. You just want some wrinkles. See, I'm pushing it a little bit. This brush is a very inexpensive kind, and I use it for my mixed media stuff. It says Craft Smart by Royal 9700, 3/4 in case that you want to find one, but it doesn't really matter what brush you use. Just know that whatever you use a lot of medium with, you will need to clean it very well, or it get ruined and you cannot use it for finer details in other paintings. So make sure you clean it. I'm pushing my paper a little bit so I make a little bit of wrinkles. If you don't want wrinkles, that's fine. You just don't hit it with your brush, because that's what I'm doing to make my wrinkles. And make sure that your thread, if you have a thread, is not totally attached to the medium. Once you're done with the pages that, the papers that you're gluing, go around in the edges of the page just for it to be protected against tears, since, like I said, my book in particular, oops, I went with the brush under the page. If you happen to come across something like that, put something on there that will not let it get glued to the page behind. Okay, so I have one more. Okay, I'm going to wait for that one. I'm going to glue it here. Put enough, but not too much. You don't want it to be running all over the place, okay? Wrinkles are fine, bubbles not so much. If you have little granules of your tea, like I do, just glue them with this. We're going to let this page dry, and it'll be ready for whenever next time we feel like painting. We have already something in here. If at this moment you want to add something, I happen to have right here next by my book this Violet Dark from Golden is High Flow, and believe me, they flow highly. I have made a crazy amount of mess with this one time that I tried it. I'm just going to go and splash a little color. Almost nothing. And it's just mostly so we don't have a paper that is totally in blank, kind of staring at you. All right, this is as much as I'm going to be doing. Put your brush in the water. Make sure that if you had a, like me in this case, a little brush of medium under the page, you put the pages separately and you just let it dry. If you're new here, remember to click on the subscribe button and also tick the bell so you get notifications every time I upload a new video. All you will see in the playlist here is acrylic painting, art journaling, all kinds of fun, free paintings and activities.